We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington football team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
This will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Throwing on first down, Marshall. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Buccaneers 7, Washington nothing. Bradley Pinion to kick off for Tampa Bay.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And this carries into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Their own 21-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal,
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about. On 1st and 10, Marshall eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his third touchdown now on the year.
And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
At their own 25-yard line.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive, but instead third down.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Marshall forced out to his left. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
At the 43-yard line.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Taylor, the ball.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
He better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
To throw on 2nd down, Baldwin. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A run for Nick Chubb. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Adoree Jackson on the tackle. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
Seven, our score after 1.
The score tied 7-7.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
Complete.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
That's out to the left and complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Complete.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And his kick is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play.
It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Open space inside the 10. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Tampa Bay.
Nick Chubb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Open man is Taylor. He's got it. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down and then some. 36 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
On 1st down, Baldwin. He sets up the screen to Jones. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Looking to throw on second down. Baldwin looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He's to the 10, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 9th touchdown of the season.
And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am, go ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, or they want to let their return guy touch it.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
5-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
No gain on the screen there, and 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily, you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not, and dropped him for no gain.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing on first down. Baldwin. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Here we go.
Off the play fake. Baldwin flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. On 3rd and 2. Baldwin. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. The 20. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Picked off at the 45. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback.
The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Carry.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On third down, Baldwin. He hits White, complete.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On 1st and 10, Baldwin. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On the ground, it's Chubb. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay.
Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Taken about 7 yards deep.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that would be considered a fumble.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
They'll get this out wide to Taylor. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 35. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Operating from the gun. Marshall escaping the pressure right. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
That's out to the left, flat and complete. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. From 17 yards out.
And Washington able to make this a close game again.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
The extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it again with Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And it's 3rd down.
To throw. Baldwin. Open man has got it. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On first down, Baldwin. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They go with Chubb on second down.
And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line.
15-yard line. Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Baldwin. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Complete.
Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Tampa Bay.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay.
Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that, and it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively.
And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Washington.
Jonathan Taylor,
81 yards.
And Washington has made this a one-score game.
So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Bucs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Eluding the pressure right. And a loose football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, meaning taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover.
To the ground and
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
But sometimes, Brandon, it's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
At the 17-yard line.
Back to throw. Marshall. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
To throw on second down. Marshall. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. From the gun, Marshall, flush to his right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Carson, and he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Carson, his first touchdown on the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th.
The game is tied at 38 all.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Operating from the gun, Baldwin. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. All tied up, less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taylor now returning it. That'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. A good balanced attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything is working pretty well. For the defensive
What's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Throwing on first down. Marshall. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced a 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Buccaneers.
They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Young. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Today's finals, Washington.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with a